everyone, to the Collect Jurassic. I am back with another Jurassic World toy unboxing. Today we're looking at the latest and greatest Hammond Collection releases, and these two might just be some of the best figures yet. Both from Jurassic World Dominion, we have the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus and the Hammond Collection Giganotosaurus. Both big baddies from that last movie that just came out. You can see here, these are large figures too. We'll do some comparisons with some sizes. We'll do some comparisons with the core figures too of these two, just to show you just how much of an improvement these premium editions from Hammond Collection are for both of these species. But let's go ahead and take a look at the boxes here. Just like your normal Hammond Collection figures, they have this nice premium window box display with all the kind of cool print techniques like embossing on the like logo there. You can see it's kind of 3D popped out. We have this really nice Jurassic branding throughout. On the sides of both of these, they have the Jurassic World Dominion logo and some cool renders of the figures inside. On the back, additionally, they have more renders, more detail kind of outlaying that glass eye. You can also see both boxes show you what else is in this wave. We got Claire, we got Velociraptor Delta, Pyroraptor, and then these bigger figures. So those smaller figures have yet to come, but these big figures are just now hitting Target, and I think they'll be on Amazon here pretty soon. So definitely stay tuned to collectjurassic.com. I'll have the links up for these to buy as soon as they are back in stock. But let's go ahead and jump in and open one up. We'll start here with Therizinosaurus, a medium-sized figure. You can see it's already, the box is a little bit smaller than the Hammond Collection, but it's, or the smaller than the Giganotosaurus Hammond Collection, but I still think this figure ultimately is going to construct into something quite large. So we'll go ahead and pop this out. You can see it in there. It's got that nice little amber background. Let me see if I can take him out with a few quick snips without having to do anything too crazy. He's got a few big plastic pieces tying him in, not just on the body and the hands, but all over the neck too. I mean, granted, Therizinosaurus does have a longer neck, so I guess that makes sense. They would put a little bit of extra security on that, but man, they put a lot on these figures in terms of keeping them in the box. And then we'll go ahead and pop this tail out. Long tail though. Ooh, very long tail. Then we'll go ahead and pop it on the figure and take a look at that. So here is Therizinosaurus. We're gonna go ahead and fix his wonky legs so he's ready to stand once we get the tail on. And then the tail looks like it's got a little hex on it. Doesn't really matter which way you put it in because it can rotate, it looks like. So, ooh, I like that posability it has too. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Wow, this thing is awesome. Let me get him kind of posed the way I want him to be posed, with his hands down, get him in his normal Therizinosaurus pose. But right out the box, you can see stands really nicely. So let's go ahead and talk about the articulation on this figure as I test all the joints. I mean, you can see that the legs themselves have a ratchet hip. They have the knees. They have two different articulation points on the ankle. Looks like the foot articulates very smoothly, and the ankle with a little bit of warming up is gonna pop around too. So that right there, pretty easy to manipulate right out the box. Go ahead and put him on a little taller pose then. His one foot is a little loose, but I think I just need to pose the ankle more than the foot, and then yeah, then it'll hold. So there we go. Up on the arms, we have a lot of articulation here. We have the shoulder articulation that rotates back and forth and ratchets down, the elbow, the hands, of course, and then this is hilarious. The claws actually have little joints in them, so you can move those too. I don't know if that's supposed to be like the fingers, or maybe they think that the animal itself was able to move its claws and its hands. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but it lets you move those claws and rotate those claws any way you see fit. So you can literally take it and make his claws go up like that, or you can make them fold down the way I had them, which I kind of like. And you can kind of keep them pointed to the ground. So nice articulation there on the I'm trying to pop this ankle out. There we go. Nice articulation on the hands. The tail is really cool because it has a full bendable like wire in it, but it's very like beefy. It doesn't feel like the wire's about to pop through any of the plastic. It's kind of like a different construction than what was on the earlier Hammond collection figures. And you can see it has really nice paint detail on it too. So I already have it kind of curled around, and it looks really nice. And it rotates on this, yeah, it rotates on this joint too, so you can get it lined up the way you want. But man, this thing is awesome. And then on the head portion, we have the base articulation on the neck, and then we have it on the base of the skull too, full rotation. And then we have the mouth, of course, has to be articulated too, right? But yeah, my first impressions of this figure, I'm blown away. I mean, it is very, very high-end feeling. The paint detail is great. It has this soft red wash throughout the entire body that looks really nice. Lighter gray on the bottom of the figure, and then the head has all kinds of detail here. You can see it's got the rubber teeth. It's got the glossy looking tongue. And then those eyes are hopefully showing up pretty well here on camera. I know those kind of, your mileage may vary on how those look on the camera with the light not hitting them just right. But in person, they look really good, and the iris is very clear. So it doesn't have any of that like earlier Hammond collection sort of like cloudy, occluded eyeballs. They look quite crisp and clear. So I mean, yeah, this thing is very, very, very deluxe and premium feeling. Again, they did a really good job with like the subtle paint on the red feathers. All the texturing looks great. And yeah, I mean, this thing never looked more like the movie for sure. I do wish his ankle, this ankle over here, this one is nice and stiff, but this one is really, 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 really loose. So I don't know what that's about, but hopefully it'll kind of tighten up over time. I mean, he does like to stand, so there's no it's not like he's fallen over. I just feel like this little foot over here could be a little bit tighter. But let's go ahead and compare him to the core figure here. We'll try this one more time with this foot, see if it stays. The core figure, meaning the one that came out for Jurassic World Dominion. Already you can see how much smaller he is. He also has this huge white stripe on him that I don't think was in the movie, so it was kind of weird to have it be on the toy. But you can see they have very similar sensibilities in terms of like the gray underbelly, the sort of darker blue coat, that red on the top. Obviously, it's way more exaggerated on the core figure, but you can see that the Hammond Collection version is just overall a longer figure, much longer tail, even tip to tip. It's a much longer tail, standing them up. The Hammond Collection version's much bigger, much taller, even with the neck pointed down. I could actually make it even taller if I wanted to. And then obviously the likeness here. One looks like a cartoon kid's toy a little bit, and one looks like a creature from the movie. So a huge upgrade there in terms of the style. I actually liked this figure when it came out, and I still do. It's a great fun figure, and it actually has decent articulation too. However, you know, this one definitely looks like it's from the movie. It definitely captures the proportions a little bit better in terms of, you know, the sort of bird-like long neck and all that. And then of course you have the just more realistic sculpting overall. Never mind the like proportions, the sculpting itself, just a lot more detail with those feathers. So really, really nice looking. Pose is really good. And I'm going to have some fun with this one, putting it on the shelf and with my Dominion display, because I can do all kinds of cool. Oh, that's awesome. So you can really make him look like he's going to be attacking the Giga, which we're going to get at here in a second. So we'll be able to set them up just like the movie in a showdown. So I'll get Therizino, hopefully not in a place where he's going to fall down while I open up Giga. We'll go ahead and put his claws down for now, and we'll give him a little bit more of a walking, situated pose, and hopefully he'll stay up there. So there is the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus. Let's go ahead and move into what's next, which is the Giganotosaurus. This guy looks incredible. He looks huge, for one thing. I mean, the box, in the box, his head is already looks like as big as the Therizinosaurus figure in its entirety. So big head over here. We'll go ahead and slice this one open up here very carefully. Whoops, as I drop the box. That's okay. He's still all tied up in there, so no harm, no foul. And then we will slide this inner tray out. Wow, that is a large, beefy figure. Goodness, that thing is big. Let's go ahead and cut all the plastic ties on this guy. Free it up best we can. It's got a huge tail, like absolutely massive tail. And then it's got a bunch of plastic ties. Oh man, it's got more plastic ties than the Therizinosaurus, which makes sense. It's a bigger toy, so. But wow, I feel like I'm breaking down electric fences over here. There's so much stuff tied onto him. Let's see, can I get this guy this last clip out back here without making him fall on his face? Almost got it, guys. There we go. I think that's the last one I would need. Nope. He still wants to be stuck. Oh, he's got a foot here attached to the bottom of the package. Is that gonna get him out? Maybe, possibly. Is he coming? Yay, he's coming. Wow, he's huge. All right, let's go ahead and get these tail pieces out. Looks like there's two different tail pieces, which is different. Usually it's just one piece, but maybe he's just that big, right? So there it is. There it is. And there it is. All right, let's go ahead and push this guy together. It looks like his tail goes in a certain way. All right. Nice long tail. Look at that thing. That tail's humongous. It's like a good 14 inches. So that's huge. And it should just pop right onto him. Oof, I did notice I got a little QC issue here. Huge paint rub down here. This is what drives me crazy about Mattel. Please, quality control. Don't let this come out of the factory with a huge paint blemish like that. That's a bummer, but I'll worry about that later. Let's get back to this figure. Man, this thing's really gonna pop in there, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Now we got the tail in here. We got Giga. Can we fit him on the frame even? This is a huge figure. Well, let's go ahead and talk about articulation so I can get him posed the way he needs to go. So just like Therizinosaurus, he has ratcheted hips, knee articulation, foot articulation. I guess got to get him sort of in a stepping. I want to kind of get him in a walking pattern if I can. So we'll go ahead and manipulate his legs and feet the best we can here. There we go. He's still not quite walking. I need to bend his knee, I think. There we go. And sort of step it forward. He's walking more and more. He's got a huge center of gravity, thankfully, because it's such a large figure. Here, we'll go ahead and look at it from this other side as I mess around with this leg. You can see he's got painted claws, painted dew claw back there. So definitely lots of detail, even just starting at the feet. It's just such a chunky figure that getting this first part posed without taking him off camera is it's tough. I just want to get him in a walking pose. There, I think we got it. Is he gonna stay though? Maybe I gotta use his giant tail to counterbalance. Maybe could be. Yeah, that's part of it. He's just like a real animal. He's got a counterbalance. He still wants to fall backwards, which is crazy because he's got. Oh, he almost knocked over Therizinosaurus with his tail. There we go. Okay, I got him. So he's just a huge long figure. So you really got to use the tail. I mean, the tail is massive. And then so that would be his legs, right? And then on the tail we have that base piece, and then we have that wire tech again on this part that works really, really well. And again, it's kind of essential to balancing it because it's just like a real animal. It's got a lot of mass that needs to be counterweighted, so try to use that tail. And then no joint in like the torso or anything like the T-Rex, which I kind of appreciate. Just a solid body. And then it has these it's got a couple articulation pieces on its arm here. It looks like articulated at the shoulder, of course. And then we have, I'm trying to see how these go. Then they go like, I guess this way. There we go, like that. And the arms kind of point down. Same thing with this guy. Ooh, these joints when they come out of the package are on the stiffer side, but you just gotta manipulate them. So now he's got his arms sort of where they need to be. Then his neck, we've got the two joints on the neck, the base joint and the skull base joint. So that allows him to do a couple different movements. And then the jaws, looks like those pose independently. So you have a top jaw that opens and a bottom jaw that opens. And then I believe the tail, or the tongue rather, is also got a little ratchet articulation. So you can do open mouth roars with the tongue. But yeah, that's articulation. Again, it's just out of the box, so he's a little stiff. But you can see the paint on this thing is, I mean, it's incredible. It looks like a maquette. It's got all kinds of shading with gray. The tan underbelly is blended into it really nicely. It's got, I mean, just tons of sculpt detail. You can see all the different ridges and skin folds and all that. All those kind of like alligator-like studs it has all the way down. And then it's got the face just, I mean, look at that thing. And you can really get a sense of the eye here. It looks alive. And he's got the rubber teeth too, so you don't have to worry about so much paint rub on those. They do have a little bit of paint wash on them, but I don't think that's going to hurt anything. You know, rubbing it against it if you're taking a toy photo or even playing with it, those teeth aren't going to show like a dark color underneath. But yeah, I love the eye. They totally nailed the eye with this guy. So he looks really, really nice. Very, very faithful to the movie. And you can see how quickly you can pose him to do all kinds of stuff, like fight his nemesis, right? His Therizinosaurus. He's getting his revenge for getting killed at the end of a Dominion. So let me get him sort of in a cool pose to fight. The legs are the part that I'm having trouble balancing. Everything else works really well, but his legs, they want to kick out or kick in. But again, I think I just need to get used to this figure. And usually when I'm unboxing stuff live on camera, I figure out something later, like, oh, this is an easier way to pose this. So there's a little bit of that here too. But yeah, he really wants to keep falling backwards no matter how I do his tail. So hopefully I can master that off camera. Because yeah, look at him. We'll just get him on maybe these 2 feet. Will he stay? I very much want to get him posed for you guys so we can enjoy him fighting the Therizinosaurus. And I know in the movie he kind of drags his tail on the ground too, so I suppose we can use that as a... Well, no, now he's balanced even without his tail fighting on the ground. So there he goes. Get him ready to fight here. Maybe he's got his claw, one claw up, one claw down. Oh man, he looks awesome. And then we got Therizino over here with the real claws. I mean, look at that. That is so cool. This thing is just ginormous. And, I mean, yeah, that looks so cool. It's like, I'm going to take a lot of room up on my shelf. But, man, do these figures look impressive in the flesh, in hand. And, man, talk about a major upgrade for Giga here. You know, previously, we only got the one version of the toy for the main line, which a lot of people weren't a big fan of. Talking about this guy right here. You know, I never hated him as much as some people. I always got him to pose more or less in a cool way, but you can see just the huge improvement on the, you know, the face right there. It's a huge, huge, huge improvement. In the body, of course, you know, this Giga is I don't even know if I can get it all on screen. It is absolutely massive compared to this core one. The core one's tail ends right there, and that one's tail just keeps going off camera. So it's a much bigger figure for sure. And a badly needed upgrade, because I think a lot of people weren't very happy with what Mattel put forth for this core line this one. And it was really hard to pose too. I mean, it always wants to have its head off to one side. And now we finally have kind of free domain over that. So it looks really, really cool. And I just love the sort of new sensibilities they put with the last wave of Hammond Collection figures. I'm talking about like the Carnotaurus 2, which I can get in here. I mean, they've just really nailed the eyes and how those complement these figures. So Giga and Therizo kind of bring that forward. You can see how much bigger Therizo is than Carno 2. This is a $35 figure. This is a $40 figure. So they definitely make up their price difference. Then one more Hammond Collection figure we should get on here against these guys. It's only fair is the Hammond Collection T-Rex. So you can see it's still pretty big compared to the Giga. I still feel like the Giga is a tiny bit undersized because the Rex's face is every bit as big as the Giga's, which I think in the movie the Giga was bigger, but maybe I'm wrong. But you can see that they at least are, you know, appropriately sized for a duel. And again, I think if I pose the Giga a little bit more, I could make him look bigger by making him look taller maybe. But my wobbly table and my my unfamiliarity with what this figure's center mass is to pose it is making it hard for me to kind of illustrate that here in this review. Come on, Therizo, quit falling over. But you can finally, point is, you can finally make that final film duel, final scene duel of Dominion with Hammond Collection figures now. And soon we're going to get even more Dominion figures. We're going to get a Pyroraptor, which is really cool, and I'm sure Troceraptors aren't far behind. But yeah, these guys look great together. These are two awesome additions to the Hammond Collection line from Dominion, and definitely in the Giga's case, a welcome upgrade to what we were faced with before in terms of the core line figures. So these two guys again are available Target right now in store, soon to be on Amazon, $40 and $50 respectively. And I think they're going to be popular, so don't hesitate to grab these if you're a fan of them. Really cool. Again, I wish the QC was a little bit better on the one I got with that paint scuff down there, but I'll make it work. Because man, this is just a beautiful toy. So awesome. I think that's basically all I got to say about these two wonderful figures. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely give me a subscription, and maybe even like this video too, because I'll be back with more soon enough, more Jurassic World toys. But I think that's all I got. So again, I'm Tim Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.